Afternoon peeps, how are you all doing? Good, I hope. Right, so today, April Fool's Day, 1st of April. This morning was fun. The children at the crossing all trying to catch the lollipop man out with their April Fool's jokes. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But what it made me think about was some of the April Fool's jokes that happened to me or were pulled during my time in the army. Now, the very first one was when I was with 66 Squadron RCT in Tidworth. This would have been about 1979. And we had a new lad posted in called Andy Morris. Andy, if you ever see this, mate, get in touch with us. But Andy Morris, brand new VM, came out of Borden. And it came to April Fool's Day. And we were all in the restroom. And our AQMS, bloke called Keith Cook, came in and sent young Andy Morris out on a fool's errand. Yeah, because he told him that he wanted a bubble for a spirit level. Yeah. So he sent him off to, at the time it was, I think it was 3 field workshops in Tidworth at the time. Sent him off to 3 field workshops. So Andy went to the workshops to go and get a bubble for a spirit level. So the guys at 3 field decided to send him on a goose chase and sent him around the rest of the barracks in Tidworth to all the workshops there, all the LADs. Yeah. And Andy was bouncing around and Keith Cook was getting in touch with all the units. And eventually, Andy Morris went out to Warminster, to 23 Command Workshops that used to be in Warminster. And that was the last we heard from him, yeah, when he got out to there. But eventually, at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Andy Morris turns back up at the workshop, at our workshops, and Keith Cook just looked at him and said, "You daft twat." He said, "Going for a bubble for a spirit level." And then Andy Morris said, "What do you mean, Q?" He said, "Well, where are you going to get a bubble for a spirit level?" And Andy Morris held his hand out like that and went, "But I've got one." And it was the little file, the little fluid file from a broken spirit level. And the guys at 23 Command Workshops thought they'd get their own back on Keith Cook by giving Andy Morris the file from a spirit level. So it backfired on him. Yeah. But like I say, it went on from about 9:30 in the morning to about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But then when I was out in Bosnia in 95, 96, yeah, I was a staff sergeant. There was another artisan staff sergeant called Jim Kelly. He was in charge of the vehicle mechanics. And we had another staff sergeant, Mick Caveney, who was the artisan metalsmith. And we woke up on April Fool's Day, forgetting all about the fact that it was for April the 1st. And went downstairs, had breakfast, and everything like that. Jim went off to his little ISO container that he used to work out of in the Conchar factory in Split. And the next thing I know, Jim's come running into my room because I'm still getting myself sorted out. He's coming running into my room. He says, "You never know what, never going to believe what the guys have done to me." I went, "What are you on about?" He says, "Bloody April Fool's Day, isn't it?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, first of all, they've nicked all the steering wheels off the Land Rovers." I went, "You what?" He said, "They've nicked all the steering wheels off the Land Rovers." He said, "But you never guess what the gits have done to me." He said, "They've emptied my ISO container of my desk and my filing cabinets." He said, "And they've parked my Land Rover inside my ISO container." Well, I just burst out laughing and went down with Jim. Yeah, and sure enough, they'd opened up the door of the ISO container and they'd parked Jim's Land Rover inside the ISO container and then removed the steering wheel so you couldn't do anything with it. So of course I'm sat there wetting myself laughing. He went, I don't know what you're laughing for. So I said, why? He says, you want to see what they've done to you? And I used to work out of what they call a binner, which was like a caravan type of affair. I went, what have they done? He said, go around and have a look. Well, the Remy lads will know this. Yeah, we got issued back in the 90s with these hydraulic lifts, electronic or electrical hydraulic lifts for lifting vehicles up so you could get underneath. So I went out to my binner, yeah, to find my binner's about 12 foot in the air on these hydraulic lifts. And they've then taken the generator that they've used to power it up and put it somewhere else. So I couldn't do anything because we had no vehicles to be able to get the generator back round to where my binner is. So Dave Cairns, who was a major, he was in charge of us, and he thought it was brilliant. He thought it was absolutely fantastic. Yeah. But he turned around to the site major, a bloke called Mike Smith, and said, can you get everyone on parade? And he got the whole workshop's ES company on parade. And he said, gentlemen, absolutely brilliant. He said, no one heard anything going on during the night. He said, but by 12 o'clock today, everything's got to be back to normal. And sure enough, by 12 o'clock, everything was. But that's the sort of pranks that everyone used to pull on each other. And like I say, this morning, as the Lollipop Man, I had the youngsters trying to pull stunts on the Lollipop Man. But you'll all have heard of it, the long stand, yeah, the rubber hammer, yeah, the left-handed screwdriver. It's all been done in my time. Yeah, luckily enough, because of my Army Cadet days, I was aware of all these things, so I never got caught out as a squaddy. But to all of you out there, it's the 1st of April. It's 10 to 12. Make sure they haven't wound you up before 12 o'clock comes. If you're new to the channel, yeah, please subscribe. Consider subscribing to the channel. Same as Keith says, we don't ask you to do something that you don't want to do. You've got your own minds, yeah. To all the new subscribers that have joined me, thank you very much. Some of you have dropped messages through, and I've replied to most of them, I think, by now. But we've also got Keith's channel, Let's Tab 59. So if you've come across my channel and if you've not found Keith's, yeah, please go and have a gander at that one. Yeah, he's a great lad, ex-warrant officer in the British Army. He's a great historian as well. Yeah, but we tend to bounce off one another, so you'll see things come on my channel and it'll come up on Keith's, and we try to support one another. So to all of you out there, have a wonderful April the 1st. Yeah, sun's out. Unfortunately, I've got to do my housework today because it's Tuesday. Been out and done my shopping, yeah, and I'll carry on with my housework for Tuesday. But all of you have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves and stay safe.